It's no secret that Manny Pacquiao loves to sing and play the guitar, and it's no coincidence that dance music cultures have the highest concentration of elite strikers. It's as if their gauge for rhythm somehow crosses over into their martial arena. This understanding does give us a partial answer to Manny's reign in boxing, one of the most accomplished boxers in history, with no other holding as many titles across 8 different weight divisions. But his affinity for music is just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to Pac-Man's hunger, few could say they were as hungry as the impoverished child withering upon the slums of Manila. As a child, Manny Pacquiao's mother wished for him to become a priest, but they were so poor and impoverished they could barely afford to eat rice each day, if at all, often leaving young Manny to go on days, starving. But you know, it's crazy. Regardless of all the obstacles standing before you, your horrendous and inhumane conditions, as ludicrous as it may all seem, sometimes enveloped in a single moment, you just get this feeling of destiny, a destiny much bigger than the world you currently reside in. Manny Pacquiao, he felt this calling when he saw Mike Tyson's shock defeat the James Buster Douglas. I knew that, without a doubt, I would become a fighter. I knew the underdog can and often does win. Manny Pacquiao's uncle, Sardo, feeling this passion, turned his room into a makeshift gym. For him, it was the ultimate blessing, indulging in his nephew's hobby, but Sardo, he could not see Manny becoming a fighter. He looked so weak, frail, barely had any visible muscle at all. But as Manny would wake up at 4 a.m. every day to jog, Sardo felt his hunger, his discipline, his desire to become a boxer. 6 months in, he felt it. Manny Pacquiao would rise from the slums of Manila and become a world champion. From sleeping on the streets and boxing rings to stowing away on boats, Manny's constant pursuit of new challenges carried him to America, where he believed he could finally earn true wealth for himself and his family. But even then, he was rejected by gym after gym. Think about this. In a world where one mistake or failure could have us feeling like our world is ending, Manny would instead smash the hammer over and over again, determined to find the gym that would allow him to fight. Through this trial of fire, he finally found the legendary Freddie Roach. With Freddie's keenly developed senses, training world champion after world champion, instantly he knew what he felt when he felt Manny's hands clattering against gloves. The legendary Freddie Roach felt the weight of a world champion. Manny's always been most notable for his speed, which also explains his power, as punching power typically is technique. It's the speed at which you can execute your technique. Some people can compensate for this with fast twitch, others, they appear to have an anatomy that uniquely better leverages body weight and or speed. Manny, though, he has a harmony between the two, with very clean technique, a compact build, a low center of gravity, and just an explosive ability to step in with hands perfectly timed to his footwork. That is the secret to his power, his footwork. His hand motions are very short and very compact. He retains a slight bend in his arm when he connects, improving the leverage from his body. Overall, he's a very short-range fighter who compensates with an explosive ability to step in. Look, Manny's arms are not very big, but his calves, they're massive. Look at how fast he moves on his feet. It's lightning. Your feet and hips are the powerhouse for your strikes, and in Manny's case, his feet simply move faster than his opponents. It's very short, tight motions and forward, generating quick bursts of kinetic energy, which he then harnesses, perfectly timing tight punching technique. It's become very natural for him at this point. His explosive ability to step in is integral to his game, but his overall work rate, thus volume when paired with the power, is why we often see Pac-Man's opponents shelled in helplessness. Now already, many of us feel exhausted imagining this ruthless, relentless work rate, but this is what he earned as a child waking up at 4 a.m., jogging through the slums of Manila. Let's now take a closer glance at his last match with Lucas Matthysse. This is a 39-year-old Pacquiao, and for the many of us who observed the match, it was truly shocking. This older boxer looked like he reinvented himself. He looked even more skilled than before. It's as if he's retained much of explosiveness, but even more interestingly, looked even hungrier. Overall, he was playing more of a counter-punching role, with a beautiful check over the top from his lead, often when Matthysse would step in, slipping inside and angrily shot firm against Matthisse's advance, with overall power mitigating possible follow-up. Here, the first knockdown, the respect Manny conditioned into Matthysse with his lead hook triggered this reaction. Look at how Manny feints his lead. It isn't an actual punch, but it triggers Matthysse to raise his guard in reaction. Manny felt this would happen because he trusted the damage his lead hook was delivering would garner this respect. He seized the opening. The prediction of reaction compensated for the telegraph and the speed of Manny following up against his falling opponent with another lead hook like a combo from Tekken. This man truly is a monster. Overall, it was a story Manny has had his opponents tell for many of his fights. His speed and high-volume short bursts of power having his opponents shell up, flustered under fire, with little answer in return. In this match, we observed the lead hook and uppercut being the predominant damage dealers when taking advantage of the openings. Matthysse shells up as the volley from the lead keeps coming in. Manny feels Matthysse respect the uppercut with this tighter guard. But with every closing, there is now an opening. Manny steps to the outside and loads his backhand like it's another polo uppercut. Meanwhile, winding on guard crashes his lead hook. The damage alongside Manny's work rate has Matthysse take his second knee. Matysse's corner is set to worry about Pacquiao's best punch, his straight left. And for good reason, the quick bursts he clatters against his opponents are truly devastating, but round 7 told a different story. The pace and power he put forward once again shelled his opponent up, thus Manny's tools to exploit this behavior were the lead hook and polo uppercut. The polo truly was integral to Manny's victory this match, and it's interesting because it is an unorthodox technique, but it was signature to Seferino Garcia, a Filipino legend who developed it swinging a crop harvesting blade, a polo knife. On connection, Manny felt the power he landed. Look, he just nudges Matthysse knowing he will go down. That is the confidence he has in his power. This was a victory not just for the Philippines, but for every man and or woman who stood against the odds as an underdog. Such a brilliant performance at age 39. It's a sight rarely ever seen in boxing, but that said, this now leads to another question. Manny Pacquiao literally had nothing, barely even any food. His only real gift was the hunger to become a boxer and the belief that he would. His hunger forged from his roots of perpetual starvation and belief, feeling his visions of greatness were undoubtedly true. The man, he just knew. This resonates with a philosophy shared by Zig Ziglar. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. It does not matter what you have or where you are. The how comes on its own when the why is strong enough. To that end, regardless of where you are or how life is hammering you, know you are enough, that in a dark world, you are worthy of feeling light. For if Manny could, in an impossible world, why not you? Thank you, Manny Pacquiao, for this lesson. If you like more from me, please subscribe, that's definitely great for the channel. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, it's good karma. And until next time, peace.